Miami is one of the richest cities in the entire world. In fact, it is the #6 city in the United States with the most millionaires. And there's over 12 billionaires that live in Miami. So today I flew out here to come find and ask millionaires and billionaires how they built their wealth and how you can become financially free in today's world. With that being said, let's get this video on the way. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am. Question for you.
Yeah.
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
Excuse me?
How old were you when you made your first million?
I was 26.
You became a millionaire at 26?
Yes.
What happened that year?
I had been a part of a partnership where we had bought a company for $25 million and had sold it for $55 million 3 years later.
Actually?
Yes.
What do you do for a living out here in Miami?
I do a lot of different things.
You think we could interview you real quick? I have a channel with 10 million followers. I go all over the world interviewing super successful people. Can we get 1 minute with you?
Sure.
How many businesses do you own?
Right now?
Yeah.
I have 5.
5 businesses?
Yes.
How long have you been a business owner?
Oh my gosh, my first time I was an equity partner in a company, I was 24 years old.
How old are you now?
I'm 50.
You're 50 years old.
I am.
Did you come from a lot of money?
I came from nothing. I grew up with 4 kids, a single mother on food stamps, living in a trailer behind my grandparents' home.
What was your turning point to financial freedom?
When you grow up with lack, you realize what you don't want. So you're like, how am I going to fix this? And I just remember thinking at a young age, at 9 years old, I started my first paper route. I'm like, I just need to start hustling, start working. I'll figure it out along the way. A lot of people don't want to hear that. The come up is a struggle and it's a journey. But by the time I was 18 and everybody else was just starting to think about working, I had been working for a decade. So I had sales expertise. I had hustle ingrained in me. So when I actually started my first job out of college, I crushed everybody near me because I had the work ethic and they also had the experience and expertise that I had built in that come up.
Were you good at selling?
I mean, I could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Wow. So give us a quick sales masterclass right here. Give me a lesson about sales.
The most important thing about sales is to always put yourself in the other person's shoes. Too often people think about, here's what I want you to have, here's why I want you to have it. That's an epic fail. The right way to do it is to put myself in your shoes, figure out the problem that you need solved, think about and empathize with how you're feeling, how you got there, and start speaking that to you. Immediately you're gonna feel a connection with me, you're gonna feel a trust with me, and you're gonna say, this girl gets my pain point. Now I can ask her, hey, can you solve that for me? And wouldn't you know, yes, I can. And that's how you really sell people.
You realize they don't teach that in school, right?
Well, they need to start teaching it.
Did you have to sacrifice a lot when you were coming up?
Oh my gosh, of course. I remember in my 20s, all my friends were getting married. Everybody was having babies. I didn't take one day off from work for 4 years. Not one vacation, not one day. All my friends lived in Boston. I lived in Boston. I moved to the middle of Michigan, in the middle of nowhere, Saginaw, Michigan. Not somewhere, an ideal location people want to go. I was 24 years old. I gave up everything because I wanted to put myself on the map in regards to business, create some credibility and a name for myself and some wealth, and it all worked out.
When you were coming up growing your businesses, did you have a lot of people that were hating on you or doubting you?
Even my own family has, right? Like people who, it doesn't mean they have to hate on you. They might love you and they want to hold you back because they're scared for you. It doesn't have to be haters. I think that that's a confusing point for a lot of people. My second book is called Overcome Your Villains. It's about getting all negative people out of your life. That's key to success. But sometimes the people that are really holding you back and holding you down are the ones that love you because they're afraid for you. You have to be willing to say, I feel you, I see you, I thank you, I'm grateful for you, and I'm gonna still move forward anyway.
So it's safe to say that even though they're your family or your loved ones, they may not know what's actually best for you.
No one is gonna know what's best for you other than you. You've got to tune out that noise. Maybe they couldn't do it. That has nothing to do with whether you're gonna be successful or not.
You got amazing advice.
Oh, thank you. I'm
so much for
so
your
happy
time.
to be here with you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate you.
You guys, we're at our next destination right now, the Miami Beach Yacht Harbor, home to some 10, 20, $30 million yachts. So we're gonna be going around seeing if we can get into these gates, go up to these docks where the yachts are parked to see if we can ask yacht owners what they did to become rich out here in Miami. So let's waste no more time and let's go around and see if we can find some people and go see what they have to say. Come on.
I'm sorry, bro.
Can we come in?
No.
Why not?
It's private.
Private?
Yeah.
Are any of them open?
Yeah, you gotta go to the office.
Other ones?
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys can see, man, since we are at the yacht harbor, the yacht marina out here, it is very hard to get into these places because these people are very private, very secretive with how they made their money. But you know us, and we're gonna do whatever we can and whatever it takes to go get the game for you guys out here in Miami. So let's go find some and go see what they have to say. Come on. All right, you guys. So we were able to get into one of the docks out here. So we're gonna try and find these people out on these boats and see how they were able to accumulate their wealth out here. Sir, question for you.
What is it?
Is this your yacht?
No.
Excuse me, sir. Sir. Is this your yacht?
Yeah, but what's with the camera right there?
I have a channel with 10 million followers. I go all over the world interviewing the most successful people. I'm asking yacht owners what they did to be able to afford a yacht.
Well, I own a hedge fund.
You own a hedge fund?
Correct.
For how long?
Almost 28 years.
Over these 28 years, what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
I would say about 300 million.
$300 million?
Yeah, more or less.
Actually?
Yep.
Hey, could I ask you a couple questions for the channel real quick?
Sure.
Thank you for having us on board.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Nice to
you,
meet
man.
you.
Can we ask you a couple questions on how you became successful?
Yeah, sure. So my first job, I was on Wall Street. I worked for a company called Nesbitt Burns. It was actually acquired by Bank of Montreal. And I then developed a hedge fund, which I was running about 4,000 traders and about 600 employees. We did about 3-4% of the U.S. markets in volume. In 2010, I then basically created a fintech company and switched from trading to execution and did that for about another 7 or 8 years. And one of the big banks in Canada looked at us, loved it, and we sold the company.
Have you ever lost money?
A lot of money.
What's the most amount of money you lost in a single year?
I'll tell you what I lost in one day.
What'd you lose?
A little over $8 million.
$8 million. What happened?
I was trading a stock that didn't go my way, and it was like pretty bad. But, over time, we learned from our lessons, made it back, and that's it.
That would cause a lot of people to crash out and do something crazy. How did you maintain composure and not go off the deep end? What was it that kept you going?
I had a bad day, thought about it, and I said, it's just a bad day, and we're going to go back and do whatever we can. So I learned from that mistake. I learned that one thing is always know what your risk is and always don't underestimate anything at all, because anything can happen any minute, anytime. We don't have any control over anything over this world, and I learned that. So right now, when I decide how much risk I'm going to take in any business, I'll make sure that I could afford what I'm investing if it goes to zero or it fails.
Some of the richest people that I've ever met that worked on Wall Street, they never actually placed a trade. They just got rich off of like a handshake, closing deals. How important was networking for you when you were on Wall Street?
Yeah, that's very interesting. So I think, first of all, you could trade, you could do a lot of things yourself, but the most important thing is networking, where you want to meet people that you want to connect with. And one of the craziest stories is my partner and I, Brian, when we had the broker-dealer, there was one of the biggest companies on Wall Street, the biggest traders on Wall Street. The chairman was about to leave, and we invited him to come to see our company. And basically, I told Brian, I said, you got to call him. You met him at the golf tournament. You got to call him right now. This is now. He's going to remember you. Bring him over, and let's show him what we do. And he did that. The gentleman was extremely respectful and super kind. And he did come to the company. He looked at us, and he looked at me and said, how the hell did you build this so undercover? It's an amazing business. And he became the chairman of my company. And from then on, this is where we got more and more people that you got to be able to attract the best people in the industry if you want to make a lot of money.
I love how you said when he had to call him now. How important was speed for you?
It was everything. If he didn't call him that, like now, and I remember he ran around the pool and he was a little nervous and he called him and the guy said yes and he came to me and he said, wow, he's coming over. But then we had to have something real that, that was valuable for him to invest, and he did invest and became the chairman. That was like where we pivoted in the company, and that's where that took us to the next level. So speed is extremely important. When you want something, you got to go for it. And manifesting is the most important thing you can do in business.
So talk to me about that, manifesting though, because not a lot of business people, they don't really talk about the mindset too much, but it seems like that's been very important for you.
It's very important. I mean, manifesting is something I do every day, and I believe in it so much, and I've done that since I was like 10 years old. Like, if I really, really want something, I'm going to go for it, and I'll do everything to get it. Doesn't matter how I'm going to get it, legally, of course, but everything that I need to do, I'm going to do to be able to acquire what I want.
So what does your self-talk look like?
I mean, it's very different for everything. I think one of the self-talks is probably like, I smile, I think, and I go, yeah, I'm going to get this. And I know exactly how, and I think in my head, what are the steps for me to achieving that? And I create this whole story, and then I go for it.
You got amazing advice, my friend.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having us on. Guys.